What's up, guys? So we're doing another install, more of a maintenance item I guess, but we're installing this new catalytic converter because if you remember before when I bought this car, the cat on this car was super rusty and it has a ton of rust holes in it, and I kept patching it, but it yeah, it's still loud. They keep popping off. There's a lot more I just haven't seen, so I decided to just swap the whole cat. So bought this brand new. This is the type that only replaces the cat, obviously, so I have to cut the exhaust right here on the old one, and this one will slide over it. So I've got the car on ramps. It's kind of tricky to put on, but I managed. Now I'm waiting for it to cool off, and while we wait, I'm just going to try and polish this up a little bit with some mag and aluminum polish. Don't know if it'll work, but I just want to try. So I scrubbed the whole thing with the sponge, the green side, and a bit of water, and that made it all like a matte silver, which was nicer than what it was before. And then over here I started to polish it with the aluminum polish, and this is about 5 minutes of polishing. And this is exactly what I was hoping for. So I'm going to keep doing this on the whole thing. So here's a new pipe after polishing it for a while, and I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. And so moving on to the old pipe, we just pulled it out, and this took a really long time. If you're doing this yourself, I think the front bolts were 13 mils, and so were the backs. I'm not sure. Mine were like rusted really bad, and like the front one of them just fell out, and the other one just was like hand tight, and I could open it with just a ratchet. The backs, they kind of snapped, so I had to cut them off with an angle grinder. And for the O2 sensors, I couldn't get it off, so I actually took it to a shop and they just loosened it for 50 bucks. I was gonna get the whole thing swapped at the shop, but they wanted like 400 bucks for that, and I was not down. So they just opened the O2 sensors, which was great, and they actually told me one of them was bad, which was good because I wouldn't have figured that out on my own. So reason I'm swapping this out is because this has been super noisy the whole time I've owned it, and you can see on the cat right here there's a big hole. Right, the sun is not helping me out. Yeah, right there. Right here, big hole. And you can see I've tried fixing it many times before. And on this side I did kind of recently, so it's still on there, but like this will come off. You can see the metal mesh in there. Yeah, but this is also a really big hole. Yeah, there you go. Now you can really see it. Here's the big hole. So, the piece we got, we're supposed to cut from here, I think, and then the new piece will slide onto this. But now I'm thinking, I kind of wish I bought this section too, because I'm looking and it looks like this area was patched before, and it's not holding up. Because if you look around on this side, this is also cracked all the way around. Look at this. Two massive holes, and it's cracked all the way around, and on this side it's also cracked. So I think I have to buy this piece now, because this is like really bad. I don't have a welder, and like going to a shop and having this welded up is like, why should I when I just bought that new piece that looks so nice? I'd rather just have it all nice, but I'm broke. Yeah, look at it right here also. Hole. I just moved this up the driveway to get it out of the way, and like the crack that was around this thing totally just split. So there's no way I can use this at all. So I called the same shop, the muffler shop. They only do muffler stuff and exhausts. I called them up. Same place I got this one from, and I ordered the resonator side. So that's going to be another $150, and we'll be picking that up tomorrow. And hopefully that'll be the last thing that I have to buy for this. Quickly, this became really expensive really quick. So I just moved the exhaust over a bit more, and it just snapped. It just, yeah. That's pretty much garbage, so I can't get a new pipe until tomorrow. So I've got to take the car off the ramps, because we have another car that parks here, and I parked it like too close this way, so I didn't want to, but now we're gonna hear it. Open headers. Okay, so it's a few days later. My old exhaust just snapped off the top while I was moving it, so this is totally trash. Maybe the cat's worth something, but this is the resonator section. I just picked this up. So now I have both pieces that make the whole mid pipe. So this end right here slides on to that end, and I already fit it up and it fits good and it looks like the same. So before we install this, I'm gonna polish this pipe up the same way I did this one because I like how it looks. Yeah, you know, it's not a performance exhaust or anything, but I kind of want it to look like one. So yeah, it's gonna get into polishing.
You see the red dot?
Three times.
Oh, no, you haven't. I've seen you use them multiple times.
So here's the resonator section. We're not done polishing it, but like this is as shiny as it's gonna get. And over here, I was saving this for the day that was right, and I guess that's today. This is gonna be replacing my muffler. This is an INVIDIA N1 exhaust that I got as a gift from a friend, which is awesome. So we basically have a full exhaust from the headers back, which is going to be awesome. This one's kind of dirty though, but this will be really easy to clean up. So here's the result after a couple hours of polishing. We already did that pipe, but here's the resonator section. It's not as shiny as I had hoped, but it's good enough. and the INVIDIA exhaust turned out super nice. I'm actually really surprised with how shiny this came out. So now we gotta raise the car up, put on ramps, and do the swap, I guess. Still haven't removed the muffler, the original one, and well, the pipe's out, so there's nothing to unbolt, but we do gotta take the hangers off. So there's one right here, there's one a little bit forward right there, and then there should be one on the left. And so the way I took off the hangers for the other pipe was use some WD-40 and some really small screwdrivers, flatheads, and I just took them and then wedged them kind of like in between the gap right here. And I just wiggled it all the way around the hanger until it was loose, and then I was able to slide it off. Now the muffler is out, and this is the bottom side, has a giant hole. So this is useless. There's also a hole right here. This also looked really weak. I guess not. But yeah, this is garbage. Good thing I'm replacing this. just having fun with this now. Can't really see what's in there, but yeah. Now we can throw in the first piece. So here's one final look of both exhausts next to each other. The INVIDIA exhaust deletes this whole giant section. Also, it makes it a lot lighter. Yeah, the old exhaust was in really, really bad shape. So we had holes there. The gasket that was here was like half gone. I'll show you that. This snapped off. And then there's the hole right here. So it's really good that I'm changing this. I'm probably going to gain a bit of horsepower. Gonna get some better fuel mileage out of this for sure. A lot of other Celica owners told me they can get like 600 kilometers on one tank, and I've only ever been able to get like 400. And yeah, with the exhaust off, I actually drove to the store, to a couple stores. In like 50 kilometers, I burned like nearly half my tank. So that's pretty crazy. I probably shouldn't have done that, but yeah. Actually, let's see if I have it. Yeah, here's the old gasket that was in the front. It's just gone. And here's what a good one should look like. I don't know what these are made of, what kind of metal, but yeah. So, new plan. I can't put on the front pipe because this is a pipe that has the hangers on it. So I'm gonna put this one on and then slide on this pipe. There's a U-bolt here. And I'm also gonna use some sealer. Alright, so we're looking underneath the front of the car, and you can see we've got that pipe in, kinda, and it connects right there. We got our bolts in, and this is something kind of interesting. On the manifold, there's nuts, but mine snapped off. So the kit came with new bolts, and these new bolts came with their own nuts, but obviously they're not welded in. So to get a ratchet in there, there's a ratchet right there. This is a ratchet with an extension, with a deep socket. I just pulled on the heat shield. There's supposed to be two bolts right there and then right there that hold the bottom heat shield in, but they were gone, snapped off. Mine's very rusty, so I just pulled it and bended it out of the way. There's two more bolts up there, but they're at such an angle that like there's no way you could take it off while the manifold's on the car. I don't think so. Yeah, so I'm gonna tighten this up. Now that's hanging, so I guess the next thing is put in the muffler and then loosely put those bolts in. Yeah, it's looking pretty nice though. Damn. Alright, so it's gotten pretty dark out. The exhaust has been tightened down. You see it? It's in there. INVIDIA's in there too. You can notice there, right there, there's a white zip tie because the third hanger, you need like a special attachment that's supposed to come with it, I think. I don't know exactly, but I've seen other people just zip tie it like that, so that's what I did too. And now the last thing we gotta do is inside the car. So one of my O2 sensors were bad. It was the downstream one. So here's my new one right there. And if you ever want to swap your O2 sensors, you just gotta go passenger side, pull out these clips. They are around here, and then just pull the carpet out. And you can see this one, I already pulled it out. This is the old downstream one. It clips right in there. And then I think the yellow one's for the upstream. But yeah, there's a grommet on it right there. And you just want to push it through the hole. Yeah, right there. There it is, there's the hole. Alright, so we're just gonna swap this O2 sensor, tighten them down, and we can drop the car. Right, so it's the next morning. We finished up the exhaust very late at night. We bolted it in, O2 sensors as well. But we didn't start it. I wanted to save that for the morning. So here's the tip. And if we look underneath, you can see where I've zip tied it on the hanger. So before we start up the car, I want to clear the codes for the O2 sensor, and then we can. So we're scanning the car right now. The entire time I've owned this car, it's always had the engine light on, just for the O2 sensors. And now is the first time I think like it will be running normal. Okay, we also have an evap thing going on, but we'll deal with that later. Okay. Okay, so the muffler is louder than I anticipated. I knew it would be pretty loud, but this is kind of surprising. Now that it's warmed up, it's gotten a bit quieter. But I can't tell if if it's quiet from the front or not. Because I have this INVIDIA intake, it makes quite a bit of noise. Just like this, getting stuff in. And my main concern is like, did I tighten down the front pipes enough? Yeah, I can't tell yet. That was, I think, 3,500 RPM. I don't want to do any louder in the neighborhood, but I definitely like this a lot better. Yeah, it sounds way smoother than before. It was really rumbly with all the holes in it before. This is a much nicer tone, but still like super loud.